Hello everybody, I'm the Gamer of Stupidity, and we're doing something yet different again. So, y'all might remember how I did a 2048 video followed by a description of an SCP, basically reading an SCP. We're gonna do that again, but on a different database, and also minus the 2048. This is what is apparently known as the more official one. So, let's access the database. Enter credentials. I have mine saved, so I can just go right into it. But you can type in whatever you want. Literally. Just anything you want. I just make it quicker. Alright. Let us look at... We're going to read two. We're going to read the iPods first. Oh, they're creepy, but they're cool looking, I guess. This is something people made. That's kind of scary. Alright. Well, let us try to read this out. SCP-131. The iPods. Connected to SCP-173 and 689. Special containment procedures. No special safety procedures are to be taken with SCP-131-A and SCP-131-B. They are free to travel around Site-19 so long as they don't attempt to enter any restricted areas or attempt to leave the facility. Casual contact with the subjects is permitted, but it is recommended that such contact be kept to a minimum to prevent the creatures from forming an attachment to personnel. Hourly tabs are to be kept on subjects at all times. Failure to account for their presence at these times constitutes a Level 1 lockdown situation. Any report of abuse or mistreatment of the subjects will result in a harsh reprimand. Alright. All descriptions are safe, autonomous, empathetic, SCP, obviously, and sentient. Yeah. Description. SCP-131-A and 131-B, affectionately named the iPods by personnel, are a pair of teardrop-shaped creatures roughly 30 centimeters or 1 foot in height, with a single blue eye in the middle of their bodies. SCP-131-A is a bright burnt orange in color, while SCP-131-B is mustard yellow. Coughing, yay. At the base of each creature is a wheel-like protrusion, which allows for locomotion, suggesting that the creatures may be biomechanical in origin. These subjects can move surprisingly fast, covering over 60 meters, or 200 feet, in a matter of seconds. The subjects, however, lack a braking system, which has led to some rather spectacular, if not overly amusing, mishaps involving the creatures. Subjects have also shown the ability to climb sheer surfaces and have gotten lost in the air vents on more than one occasion. The subjects seem to have the intelligence of common house cats and are insatiably curious. Most of the time, they simply roll around the facility, observing personnel at work and catching peeks at other safe-class SCPs. Subjects seem to be able to communicate with each other via an untranslatable high-pitched babbling. Subjects have never been observed to blink, even in laboratories when the subjects have been videotaped for over 18 consecutive hours. These subjects seem to respond well to any affection given to them, and they will quickly bond to the giver of said affection, much in the same way a puppy bonds with a human being. They will follow anyone or anything they've made a bond with anywhere, even into normally restricted areas. Although curious, the subjects can sense danger in their general vicinity, and if the object of their bond begins to approach something they register as dangerous, example, Euclid or Keter objects, they will swarm around their bonded companions' feet or appropriate extremities, while babbling in a panicked tone as to warn them. Because of the dangers faced by Site-19 staff in dealing with Euclid and Keter class objects, It is recommended that staff avoid making attempts to bond with the subjects, as it can pose a distraction during delicate operations and experiments, and may pose a danger to the subjects themselves. See Addendum 131-1. If the subjects are ignored by their bonded target long enough, they will eventually lose interest and return to their normal activities. It should be noted that the subjects require no real care or maintenance from the staff. They do not eat, do droppings, or even sleep. It would seem the only sustenance they require is visual stimulation, although that requires further study to verify. Subjects 131A and 131B were found in a cornfield outside Redacted in the year 19 Redacted. They were promptly transported to Site 19 via data expunged, and then were downgraded to Safe Class and given free reign across the site once it became clear they were not broadcasting what they saw to any hostile foreign powers. Addendum 131-1. During an incident that took place on Redacted, the subjects followed one of the cleaning staff on a routine cleaning of the container of 173, SCP-173. After their normal attempts to warn the cleaner of the danger were ignored, creatures rushed into the container in front of them and the other two personnel on duty. Once inside, the staff members observed the subject sitting in front of 173 and watching it intently, as if aware that it could only move if unobserved. The cleaners ignored the presence of the subjects and continued with the bi-weekly cleaning as per standard procedures. When the cleaning crew left, the subjects did as well, rolling slowly backwards and never taking their eyes off of SCP-173. Current applications of 131A and 131B as wardens for SCP-173, and perhaps other SCP that require constant observation, such as SCP-689, are being considered. Alright, that was the iPods. That was, exciting. Wasn't it? Probably. Oh. Alright, do we read 173? Which is Euclid, or 689? Actually, let's go back to just the foundation. Oh, it has me log back in. Alright. Access database. Enter credentials. Alright. Let's scroll. I said scroll. Time keeps on slipping. Whoa. SCP-620 is not... Alright, sorry. SCP-620. Time keeps on slipping. Also referred to as 620. SCP-620 is not considered a direct hazard as such. It is currently located in Site Redacted, Accounting Department. Its containment that was redacted. Its containment procedures exist to create an environment where researchers can study its effects without being exposed to them. SCP-620 is to be mounted to a large two-way mirror separating an observation area from the testing area. It is to be attached to the monitor by suction cup mounts. In the event of suction cup failure, the testing area must be evacuated until 620 can be remounted. Research personnel may remount the object, as brief exposure is not considered dangerous. 620 is currently connected directly to Site Redacted's power supply. Following incident SCP-620-Redacted. Any signs of wires needing repair must be reported to Site Redacted maintenance staff immediately. Whoa. I read fast. By the way, our description is safe, cognitohazard, mind-altering, SCP, obviously, temporal, and timepiece. Okay. 620 is an analog clock of unknown make and model. It bears no markings indicating a manufacturer or place of origin. Its face is styled after the yellow smiley face design. When SCP-620 is powered, all subjects observing its face perceived time acceleration. Constant observation is not required. Occasional glances will induce the perceived acceleration as quickly as constant observation. Upon the conclusion of a testing session, Test subjects were asked to gauge how much time they thought they had spent testing. All underreported time spent testing by a factor proportional to time spent exposed to 620. Subjects exposed to 620 for under 5 minutes were no less accurate at measuring time than a control group. However, as exposure length increases, inaccuracy rises proportionally. Most subjects experience its effects to be pleasurable. I'm going to read the crossed out part. So 620 has been mounted on the wall in site redactants, accounting department to increase morale. This has been redacted and is no longer accurate. As of incident SCP-620-redacted, indiscriminate exposure to the object is no longer permitted, and the object has thus been relocated to a specialized research area. Alright. Holy crap, allergies suck. Yeah, and I know you guys can see my face. Also, I think I forgot to introduce myself. Before we go on, I'm the Gamer of Stupidity, as you all know. Oh, wow. And this time I'm lying on my bed instead of sitting on my desk like a normal person. Alright. The perceived time acceleration only persists as long as the object remains functional. If SCP-620 loses power or its hands cease movement for any reason, all subjects exposed to it will experience time dilation in equal proportion to the time acceleration perceived when it is functional. All subjects, especially those previously perceiving time acceleration, find the time dilation uncomfortable, and after prolonged exposure, it becomes unbearable for most test subjects. 620 consumes battery charge at varying and unpredictable levels, causing it to lose power with little warning. As such, 620 currently draws power directly from the site redacted its power supply. Prolonged subject exposure to this object in either state is unsafe. After 24 continuous hours of exposure, subjects have, in the past, begun to reject food regardless of hunger, frequently stating that they just ate, regardless of how much actual time has passed since the subject has eaten. Subjects become overconfident in their recollection, claiming to remember things as if they were just yesterday, but no measurable increase in recall. Subjects who become aware of how quickly they perceive time to be passing have become chronically depressed, believing their death to be imminent, and subjects exposed to a stopped face for prolonged periods of time quickly become bored, often pleading with researchers through the mirror for the test to end. It is important that SCP-620 has no effect whatsoever on the actual flow of time, as far as Foundation equipment can detect. The acceleration and dilation are completely psychosomatic. Subjects who do not know what an analog clock is or how to read one are unaffected by 620. Wow. That is a harsh thing. Can I not go back to the main page? What's this? What's this? Okay. So clicking this file button brings me back. And then the Tickle Monster is the last one. Wow. Okay, I can go to 100. Oh, it's 999. It took me a second to realize what that was. Wow. Wow. Alright. Well, that was 2 descriptions of SCPs, the first one being 131, also known as the iPods, and the other being the time keeps on slipping, or the smiling analog clock. If y'all enjoyed that, good for you. Again, I'm not gonna force you to... I'm not going to force anything upon you. I'm not going to ask you to like it or not like it. In my opinion, this is a good database, but so is this one. And this is just the wiki version, but this is good. It's good old, this is SCP-11001. But, again, it's a good database. I'm not going to say no to it. I'll probably put both in the description. Both this one and this one. Yeah, actually I can do that. Show you the actual front page. I never opened this one. Let's open the international. But yeah, you go to the front page of this database. You can choose which series you want to look at. The tails based on series. Apparently 7 doesn't have any tails. The library, explained SCPs. Yeah, all this. And even how to write an SCP. Very long. Very exciting. International Translation Archive. Whoa. Oh my god, that's a lot of SCPs. Stuff. Wow. I love how this one's completely different than, like, this one. Because this is just a skin change of this one. This is not even the logo! Alright, all of these that have just changed versions are okay. This one, international. Chinese looks just like a flower. That's cool. Freaking Spanish with the just an accented one. Is that okay? I'm not sure. The Korean version, okay, and then Chinese. Wow. Yeah. Random SCP. Yeah, basically, that was cool. I'll link both in the description. As you all know, I am the Gamer of Stupidity. Please stop taking me to this one. I don't want to go to this one. But, alright. Thank you all for watching. I'll link this I'll link both sites in the description below. Go ahead and check them out. Again, look at the SCPs. Oh my god. Look at the SCPs. Look at their tails. By when it says by series, it means 001 to 999, 1000, 10, 1999, so on and so forth. Like that. Doesn't mean anything specific. Look at the database over here. You can open this. You get to see the Series 1 directory. Putting in Series 2 up here will let you look at not the set. I'm sorry, I can only look at SCP. Why can I not look at the second? Let me look at the second series, please. Anyway, while I figure this out, you all have fun. I'll be gone. If y'all want anything, enjoy. If you did, good for you. I'm not going to tell you to like or subscribe, because that's not what we do here. I would ask you, though, to comment on what you want to see next. Holy crap. That was a long video for 2 things. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'm pressing the arrow keys. Alright. I hope you have a great day, night, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Just have a great time. And as always, I'm going to say this. Yes, that's OBS in the corner. And also, peace.